Welcome back to the podcast, and you're listening to the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. And of course, I have my two co-hosts, Jason and Tasha. Say hey, y'all.
Hey.
Peace.
And we have been out the game for a few weeks, and we're back. And we are doing our live recording here at Three Mask, and we have our dear friend, Mr. Tim.
The Bushman.
AKA Bushman number one.
And we are recording on the famous couch. So what makes this the famous couch?
Well, this is the most famous couch in Orlando.
The most famous couch in Orlando.
Orlando.
More people have sat on this couch. More celebrities have showcased themselves on this couch. And this couch, I think sometimes what you say something when you throw it up into the universe and say this is what this is.
Right.
So this has been what that is, and obviously with the love out there, it has become the most famous couch in Orlando, Florida. So
Absolutely, that's what's up. And you know what? You pointed something out, very important out about speaking things into existence and throwing it in the universe. Because me and my dear friend Tasha was talking about that earlier today. And just give me, you have your own business.
That's correct.
And just give us some insight on what it is to just have a dream, follow through with it. Like what do we need to do to just keep our dreams and hopes alive?
It's a beautiful question. I think first off, you have to have a dream for what you want. And there's a saying out there that if you do something you enjoy doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
All right. So it's not so much what pays you the most money, but as opposed to what you enjoy doing, and then helps you to pay the bills.
Right.
Happiness and good health is what life is all about. It's not how much money you make.
So you don't work.
Right.
I say that to myself. I don't work. One thing for certain is the fact that if you own your own business, you actually work more. But you work more, and you enjoy, because you enjoy what you do. You actually not work.
Right.
You're just passing the time. So that's what I would say I do. I pass the time by doing something that I love.
Passing the time making money.
Making
That's a beautiful thing, right?
meeting people just like yourself. I also said that there's a huge difference between mamas and papas stores and big departmental stores.
Right.
If you come into a mamas and papas stores in the neighborhood, you can actually chit chat with the owners or the staffs in there, and they're not in a hurry. They are there to listen to what you have to say, compared to when you're in, so you're at Walmart right now. You're talking to one of the staffs in there, the manager's looking at the clock and thinking, hey, that's not what you should be doing.
Right.
You know, so stores like this, or like mamas and papas stores, are so needed. They are the soul of the community. So
trust me, I know the feeling, because I be at work every day on that clock, like I'm ready to go. Like it don't make no sense. Everybody just be like, you always ready to go? Yes, because it's true when you're not doing something that you love.
And it's not yours.
And it's not yours. It's like you're putting your energy and effort and your everything into someone else's dreams, you know? And it's like you don't even matter to them. You drop down and dead, they get somebody to replace you the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And it's just like every day, I mean, I'm grateful, you know, of course it's paying the bills, but it's time for me to kind of like venture out. And
just find something you love.
Right.
I think that's the bottom line. Venturing out into doing something that you love and it's able to pay the bills.
Right.
And consistency helps as well too. Being consistent. No, I crack the joke of grand opening and grand closing, all right, which is what mostly our lives is like. You know, you use last month's rent to open up the business, and you're saying, I hope people come next month, because if they don't, that's grand opening and grand closing. So there has to be a consistency. There's a saying that says businesses take between 3 to 4 or even 5 years to mature. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to give that time into it.
So with that being said, how long have you been in business? What inspired you to open a store like this? And what inspires you to do all the things that you do for the community? You guys have dance classes, Monday nights you guys have poetry nights, you have a lot of things that you offer. You guys go to Ghana every year.
I was going to ask that before we jump to the side. Where originally are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yes,
Okay.
Nigeria.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, now what does the green and white?
All
There you
right,
go.
calm
There you
down,
go.
calm down,
That's
calm
what's
down.
That's what's up. And we do travel to Ghana. I mean, there are reasons why we do that. But to first answer your question, I think the first question was what made me do this. I mean, I'm in this community. I love the African culture. I actually consider myself the unofficial ambassador to the United States, which means once I get official, I start getting paid for it. But and I think there's so many Africans or people of African, we all African people of African descent, but
We're all African.
yeah, there's so many. Oh, thank you. There's so many
African.
people that come from the continent of Africa who are here, but we're so used to just being by ourselves as opposed to sharing what we know.
Right.
You know, and I wouldn't just blame it on the Africans. It goes to all. It goes to the Caribbeans as well.
Right.
Too. We're all more concerned about who we are as a tribe, as opposed to sharing what we know, you know, about ourselves. So, which is why I'm able to come about this business to be able to share Nigeria and the rest of Africa with my community.
So I have a question. When we watch Wakanda, the Africans looked at Americans.
We talked about this the other day.
Really?
We talked about this the other day.
The Africans was looking at Americans like peasants. Is that how they really feel? Like we wannabes? Like, is that how y'all feel about us in real life? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I've
Like,
heard that. I actually have heard that.
So since, you know what I'm saying, let us know.
And
How
I
you
think,
really feel?
And I think that's the more reason why we have to be able to educate self.
Right.
You know, when we interact with one another, then we see that we are actually we're the same people, but misconception has put us in different time zones. So we're thinking differently. We generalize all the time. I'm thinking, this is what these guys are thinking of us. While if we all come together, we'll see that we actually have similar thoughts. You know, there will always be in every family. There's always a crazy person, right? The same goes for all of us as well too. There's always someone who has a different ideas as to who the African Americans are or who the Jamaicans are. There's always been like, when you have level-headed people like you and myself, we can reason and understand that we are actually the same people. You know, so that's what I like to tap into. I like to tap into what connects us as much as to what divides us as a people.
So let me ask you this: what do you think is the divider?
The divider, obviously, is the media. I always say when you watch, take for example, you have the Olympics going on now, all right, and they want to show you Africa, all right. I mean, obviously, the word Africa means it combines all of the countries in Africa. So they are showing you Africa, and it's all about time, all right. Now the time is we have few minutes to show Africa, and you have to be able to tell that this is Africa. So they'll show a giraffe going on. They'll show the savannah plains. Once you look at it, you just go, oh, Africa. They can't show you all of this tall high-rise in there because you're going to be going, where is this again? Where is this again? But because they give you that, you go Africa. They say, good, our job is done.
So they're just showing a snapshot. A small snapshot.
It's money.
Of the largest piece of land on earth. Right?
They give you,
I heard Africa is beautiful.
It is. It is. It's a beautiful place. It's wonderful. The people are warm, and I think as much as people all over the world are warm, it's actually the government that does their own pity-patter fights on our behalf. But when you go to these different countries, you see how warm and happy they are.
Right, yeah, and that's true. Because when I see videos of like celebrities, they go to Africa and they're interacting with the community, you can see how warm Africans are. Like, you know, they're ready to show you their different dances, make you that, you know, foods and stuff like that. Like, they're warm and they bring you in. So that is very true.
We are all the same people, you know, and I think what separates us is me thinking I'm better than you.
Right.
And once you have that idea, then the levels become, you know, uneven.
Right.
I'm thinking, oh, I'm picking the things that I think I'm better than you at. Well, if you think about it, it's an even playing field for all of us.
Absolutely.
And someone always better than the other person, or who thinks is better than the other person.
Right. And I think too, like when you look at culture, so the three of us are West Indian. We got 2 Jamaicans and a Trinity. Right? So when I think about culture, one of the first things that comes to my mind is food and music.
Yes.
Nice.
Although there's a plethora of other aspects that make up culture.
Yeah.
Right? But when I think about culture, I think about food, I think about music first. And so like for Jamaica, is responsible for reggae.
Yeah.
Right? So when you listen to reggae music, growing up you don't realize it, but as you get older, you notice the African origin in the reggae music.
That's correct.
And when you actually study reggae, it's actually stuff. The Naibinge drums and all that comes from Africa. That comes
Even
from
dances.
That's
dances,
yeah.
everything comes
Even
from
the
home.
moves,
Yes, yes.
I'm trained, so when growing up listening to soca and calypso music and going to African parties, I'm like, yo, this is a real soca beat. But it's really not a soca beat. It's an African beat.
Yes.
But these things come from
From it originates from there.
originates from home.
Yes, yes.
Our foods are, so growing up, I grew up eating something called kuku.
Okay.
But what that is fufu.
Yes, yes.
You know, so
What's cuckoo? What's fufu? I'm lost.
So fufu is, I'm up here acting like I'm African.
Yeah,
So
you are.
Right.
Well, and just for the record, I am obsessed with Africans. It's one of the cultures that I love, like, out of besides Indian.
Okay.
Besides my own,
Yes.
you know, big up the Jamaicans, but I love Africans. I said I'm gonna marry one day, so it's coming. So anyway,
Plenty
but,
of chances for that.
Huh? Yeah.
The parties in there, the trips.
You giving your spot?
Do
You
what?
African? She looking for an African.
You know what?
Oh, I know. I'm already taking it.
Yeah, he take it. She gonna get you back there.
Good man, good man, good man.
So, but
shoot on them.
right? So with the fufu, it's kind of like I would say it kind of reminds me of it's like a mixture of, like, not really like a mashed potato, but something. It's a little bit more
It's more
texture.
firm.
The texture's more
Yeah.
firm, and they kind of have like a soup type thing that you eat with it.
Yes, yes,
and you use
yes.
your hands, so
Oh,
you
wow.
know.
You must have been eating with
I do,
Nigerians.
right. So
already.
I have Nigerian
There you
friends. I have
go.
friends from Zambia.
There you
I have
go.
friends from Ghana.
Yes.
So I have friends from all
Yes,
over.
yes, yes.
I just
that's
need to
good.
go there now. But yeah, fufu
My
is really
best
cool.
friend
It's really
is
good.
from Ghana, but
Yes.
she's more American. Shout out to Allison. She's more Americanized. So the only thing I can remember when I used to go into her house was the peanut soup.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only. But I didn't really. And
It's
there was
very
other
popular.
things her mom used to cook.
Yes.
But yeah, the peanut soup. I wasn't really down for the peanut soup, you know. But you know, I tried it.
They all have different cuisine. The food is similar, obviously prepared differently, but it's the same recipe
It's kinda
somewhat, you know. And Nigerian and Ghanaian food is somewhat of a similarity to it. But one thing that we all do most is eat with our hands.
Yes.
You know, instead of having to use silverware, but we cut it with our hands.
I've
And then we've
never-
got a stew to go with the fufu.
So wait. So how you eat the stew? With your hands?
You use the
You
fufu
use
to
the
pick up
fufu,
the
you
soup.
cut into the
Oh.
fufu, and you use it to
Right.
stir.
Ooh,
You stir it
look,
in
he
there.
doing it. He got that.
I can feel it.
You got the
Yeah.
right
I'm-
taste.
right now.
You know what I'm saying? He about to feel like, okay, I need to try this food.
So if you go to the restaurants, normally they have like a bowl of water.
There you
like,
go,
and
to
that-
wash
so
your
you
hands
wash your
with.
hands in
Yes.
there and dry it, and then you have the food. You know, use your hands.
She knows.
See?
You just need
What?
to get down there.
So-
She's good.
I just need to learn how to make some fufu. I'm gonna learn how to make
So where's the
That's
best
what
place?
YouTube is for now.
So
Yeah.
What's the best place in the city to get to buy fufu? Or
there
what's
is-
your favorite restaurant here? I should say.
There's a restaurant called the Nigerian Flavor Restaurant.
Mm.
If you go on Orange Avenue, have you
Oh,
been
she
there?
knows.
Yes.
I can't with Tasha. You
she's
African or
going
you
out.
Jamaican?
I'm Jamaican, but I'm African.
She's
I
African.
was
Yeah.
talking African.
You're not gonna go with the roots. The
Yeah.
roots is African,
Yeah.
and then
True,
you know,
true.
yeah, the Nigerian Flavor Restaurant is a beautiful restaurant. You go out
Nice.
there, they got all kinds of food. Obviously, Nigerian flavored food, you know, but they could do other things as well too. So it's a good place to go. Yeah, go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yo, I mentioned all that because just to say how, like you were mentioning how similar we really are,
Yes,
and even though sometimes we don't even realize it, right?
yes,
And so, like, and it just takes education. Like,
That's correct.
so I've known you since like I first came to Orlando.
yes, yes.
About 10 years ago, my son, you remember Malik, when I used to bring him in the store, he used to look at the statues and
be
the
scared.
garment and be cry, he'd be shook, want to run out the store. He was like 2 at a time. And now is at the point where if we're passing by, he's like, yo, can we go to the store and see Mr. Bushman, Mr. Tim? You know what I'm saying? And it's just because of education. He's not scared of these things anymore.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful
Yeah.
for you
Oh, thank you.
and this place right here
Thank you.
because it has educated a lot of people here in all that, like
Right.
Yeah.
so in New York, this is like a dime a dozen.
Right,
There's a lot of
right,
this
right,
in New York.
yeah,
Yes.
but not here.
But in Florida, in Orlando, like I was looking
Something
for
like this.
a place, and then I just bounced up when you were when you were on Church Avenue.
Church Street,
Because
yes.
I really and truly I was looking Church Street, not Church Avenue.
Yeah.
I was really looking for a black bookstore,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that's when I found
About Fritz.
Fritz.
Yes.
And then you were next. You were on the same
So
block.
rest in peace.
So
It's
rest in
passed
peace,
on
Fritz.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. And so I'm grateful, and you're here. You're growing.
I know.
Yeah.
Like the place is crazy. Like
Everybody
this.
knows
Yeah.
about
Everyone
that.
knows Street Mass.
Yeah.
Lots
And-
of work put into it. But I think, I mean, to buttress on what you just said, this is what got me into doing this. I mean, when I first got into America, I mean, I go around and I see white folks actually having stores like this.
Right.
So the question is, who's better to tell our stories
Hold on, when
but
you say
us?
like this, what do you mean?
I mean, they have, they're more curious than we are.
But they have stores like this.
They have stores similar to something like this,
Right.
where they have, I mean, like I said again,
Africans and
they're
stuff
more,
like
they're more
that.
curious
Mhm.
into what we have than we are.
Right.
You know, we probably by way of religion, obviously stay away from what is ours.
Yes,
all right.
indeed.
But others embrace it.
Yes.
So for that reason, and I see them embracing it and then selling it. So the idea is, who's better to tell our stories
Story
but
than
us?
us.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what brought me into this.
Mhm.
You know, but I think the core of my story really though is my dad. All right. Having to come from Nigeria doesn't mean I am, you know, the biggest fan of mask statues as to tell our stories. All right. Because then again, religion.
Right.
So having to come from Nigeria, you go into, even you go to most of the African countries today, you would hardly find masks or statues on their walls, because our idea is we have mixed culture and religion are parallel,
Right.
but we have made our religion, culture.
Right.
See, so if you have a mask on your wall or statue in your, people will take it that you're worshiping that, as opposed to using it to decorate your home.
Oh wow.
You know,
Right,
so
But wait, because I've never heard anything. So it's no, you good. So people, what's that about? People worshiping masks? Is that a thing?
I mean, there's so many religions in the world.
Okay.
One of the religions we have in Nigeria is the Orisha religion, and you can have a statue, you can have a mask, but some worship. It doesn't mean we all worship.
Okay.
So if I were to have a mask or statue in my home, it does not mean I wake up in the morning and worship the mask or statue. I still believe in God, just like even the priests believe in God. Everybody believes in God.
Right.
You know, but I think because of religion and how extremist we are of
Yes.
that religion, our culture has now, our religion has meshed into culture. So
Right.
what we have is religion as opposed to culture.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So any mascot statues will shy away or run away from it and thinking that it's evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes I think that it has to do with so Christianity. I'm a Christian, right?
There you go. Yeah. I mean, I call myself a Christian as well too.
Right. However, the European influence, right? So remember, a long time ago, everything that we did was not right, was not good. So of course you have to take away these things and influence only a particular way of living instead of being who you are. Because remember, your culture was taken away. You know, you were not allowed to. So once you were taught something else and brainwashed, and this has been going on for decades and generations. Now a lot of us feel like this is wrong.
Yeah, like this is evil.
Yeah, it's evil.
and like I said with my dad, obviously my daddy was one of those guys who traveled outside of Nigeria to school. When he came back, his eyes were open to the fact that you can actually use this to decorate your homes.
Right.
It doesn't mean
that you worship
with
it.
the majority believes that you're worshiping it.
Right.
So he came home and he had this in our home. So we grew up with massive statues in our home.
Right.
So for that reason, I felt comfortable with that. All right, compared to others who, I mean, they never
see a mask, they
never had this in their home. So for them, it's evil to have a mascot statue.
What's the name? How did the name originate? Like
Three Mask. Three Mask is
that's interesting.
It's such an interesting. When I started my business, I had called my business African Roots. And I believe that there's no company out there called African Roots. I thought I'd come up with the biggest name in the world, African Roots. So I went online to check if there's any business called African Roots.
100 of them.
I was like a million of them. I said, what? And I had, I'm an artist as well. I don't know if you guys know. So I had a painting of Three Masks. And then having to borrow from the Western world where you can just take things. It could be a company that calls themselves Two Cubes.
Right. Right.
Or a cup of tea.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'm Three Masks. And
That's dope though. I love it.
That makes it different.
You ever anybody else with that name?
No, everybody wants to be like that. You know, nobody else, has that. And I think the tagline is even more beautiful.
It stands
and
out.
I think it just came to me in my sleep, and it's sharing Africa from within. It could be from within here, it could be from within the continent, but just sharing Africa from within.
Right.
So I thought that was dope.
And with you saying that, it came, it came to you in your sleep.
Yes.
It just like for me, I've been trying, not an artist as far as artist, but I've been venturing out and trying to do things, like my podcast, and I did a book bag drive. Guys, if who's listening now, I have a sickle cell walk, September 1st. I know that's like Saturday, but 8:30 in the morning to shed some light on sickle cell. So I'm doing and sickle cell awareness. So I'm doing different things, but what I'm starting to learn is when you feel that in your soul, like you dream about it and it come to your mind, and we have to jump on these things because you're getting that vision, you're getting that thought for a reason. And it's so good that, like you said, it came to you in your dream and okay, that's it, Three Masks. And the name is super dope.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank
so
you.
when you were on church, was it Three Masks as well, or?
It has always been Three Masks,
okay.
because obviously the beginning brings about the African roots, which after saying African roots, then turned into Three Masks. So I've been in business now for a little over, I think, going to 30 years. So it has always been Three Masks.
Wait.
30 years.
30 years in Central Florida, or you?
In Central Florida in itself, I think I'm bordering on, say, maybe 25, 26 now. I was at the, what's it called, on Church Street. I was there for a little over 18 years.
Oh, wow.
On Church Street, yes.
I didn't know it was that long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was there for that long. And
but the
that's
thing
like 6
is,
years.
I knew nothing about this place until I met, until we started the podcast, and then they started talking about it, and I'm like, what? what store you guys talk about? I never knew, and I just felt like it was so important to kind of like see if we can do a recording here so people can know like we have stores like this, and when we're done, I'm gonna show like some of the masks and stuff like that you have. It's like so beautiful, but my daughter could not come in here. Sky, she would go crazy. It's too much.
I think everything is about consistency,
right?
And like they said, like I said before, for any business at all, they tell you it takes you 4 or 5 years for you to. You're always growing, and I think success and achievement is not really a goal. It's an everyday progress. You know what I mean? Because usually we're looking to a point when today it's an accomplishment just for you getting by today. Right. But if you're thinking my goal and achievement is right over there, when you get there, what do? Right. Then you start casting your nets again. No, enjoy every single day and make it what you call a new beginning. Right. You know, it's amazing. So that's been the journey so far.
So when you said, I meant to ask you, what are some of the celebrities that sat on the famous couch?
Man, everybody. I mean, you are a celebrity. You know what I mean? So but everybody has been on it. Honestly, I mean, I can't count how many people has sat on here. Usually, when we say celebrities, we're not just limiting it to
famous people.
Famous people. We're saying everybody. And also, when we say famous people, we're not just limiting it to America. We're saying people from out of the country as well too. Wow. Because, like you said, and I think I made mention of it as well again, it is what you say. It's not what somebody else is saying. You know, when you live your life in the hands of others, then you get to leave your standard to their standards as opposed to creating your own standards.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yes.
So, briefly tell us some of the things that you have here. Like, I came to the Poetry Slam last week Monday. It was amazing. Yes. That's another great thing that you have that, again, we're all from up north. Okay. So they're from New York, I'm from Jersey, and up there is more culture, you know. Here is not. And to find like somewhere that does poetry, where people could come and just express themselves and, you know, sing. And like last week when I came, I didn't come this Monday, the Monday before, the one young lady that said she hadn't sung in, you know, months, you know, because of her fear.
I think her parents.
And she just, you know, the vibe opened her up, and she just, you know, came up and started singing. And I was like, man, the vibe is so dope. You know, people were coming in, writing their pieces and coming up. You have, last week I watched you on live this Monday.
Yeah,
you had the drummer. What's he from, Nigeria?
It's from Ivory Coast.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
He was awesome.
He was singing. Yes. Oh my God, it was so good.
Yes.
Yeah, so what are some of the other things that you have so that people that's watching, they can know that, okay, this is in our community and they can come out and enjoy these things?
We have so many things. I think the first is, I would say, Art Talk. Have you been to Art Talk?
No.
Okay, Art Talk
and I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right. Art Talk is referred to as conversation between like minds. Art Talk is something we've been doing. I think the next one we're doing now will be the 46th one that we've been doing. Now, Art Talk is such a beautiful idea that I think if every, like I was saying about Papa's Mama's stores, if any companies or any small companies can actually take it and do it in their own community, it will actually bring everybody together into that community. Yes. Now, what is so unique about Art Talk also is the fact that the vendors are given the opportunity to come in and sell their wares. So on a particular last Saturday of the month, you see vendors all over here with their whatever they sell, they bring them in.
I've been in.
You've been in. I know you have been in.
I've been in.
So they come in with what they make, you know, and sell. So imagine the idea that I can make something, but where would I sell those stuff?
Right.
You know, I can go to an event, but how often does that event take place?
Right.
So they get a chance to come in here and it's all free.
You know,
so not only that,
you said your friend was
Like the farmers market.
Yeah, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
That's different.
Okay.
So not only that, we now go further and serve authentic African and Afro-Caribbean food.
So I can get the fufu?
You can get your
Yeah,
food.
yeah,
yeah.
We serve the food, and we're not cutting down. We're serving you the whole 9 years,
Yeah,
and it's all
yeah.
free as well too.
Oh, I'm
If-
coming.
if-
Wait,
if I remember-
like, you know how love free.
The time I came to the art talk, wasn't there a fufu
Yes.
competition?
Oh yeah, we have a
The
jollof
Oh,
rice.
The jollof
We have jollof rice.
Wait,
jollof.
what is that?
That was
Yeah,
good.
jollof
Oh,
rice.
you didn't go.
But by the time I got here, it was gone. Like that
you
joint
got
went,
came?
it was gone.
It was
Yeah,
all
yeah,
big.
yeah.
Okay,
It was
what
finished,
was
yeah.
the jollof? What's jollof rice, guys?
Oh my God.
Yo, it's mad good, yo.
Food.
Yo, where you been? Yo, where you been?
Listen, I'm more into the
Right.
Jamaican culture. That's
Yo, son.
what's
So
jollof
it's
rice?
like, well, I'll let him explain
Oh,
jollof rice.
I think you've been doing very
Well, it
well.
Right,
has tomato paste in it. It
Yes.
takes forever to cook it. I know, like when my friends that make it, they use like the actual beef chicken. They stew it down.
Yes.
They use the broth from that. They
Yes.
use the rice, tomato paste.
Mm.
You got there's a lot of pepper in there. I know they put a lot
Well,
of
I mean,
pepper.
it depends on who's
Who's
cooking
cooking
it.
it.
Yeah.
They don't put a lot of pepper in there, but you could tell me what other secrets. I know they put some other
Right.
stuff in there.
They
do, but
I
it's
can
a
tell you, I
process.
mean, the process of jollof rice, obviously, is a stew,
How
the
long it
rice
take to cook?
added. It depends on who's cooking it
Okay.
too. Yeah. But the added pieces also makes it more of a
Right.
jollof rice feast. You've got something called, like the Nigerians, and we have something called moi moi. You have the fried plantain that goes with it. And then you've got, it depends on what meat you're serving it
Right.
with. You know, it could be fish, it could be, all of those things, and the way it's been decorated. But I think more so it's what you grew up on. And there's a huge war on who has the best jollof rice. So that's why we had that competition. We're going to do it again this year.
Who
Go
won?
on.
Ghana won the last one.
Okay, Ghana.
Alright.
Go Ghana.
Ghana won the last competition,
Yeah.
so obviously other people, and there's some money to be won. The last was the giveaway prize was $500.
Okay.
So which
Well, I need
means
to-
winner takes all.
I need to learn how to make some jollof rice so I can cook with the rice.
Yeah.
I ain't
So
gonna
yo,
win,
if I practice, I could come.
Right. Long as
I'm representing the green and white.
You could come. There was a guy actually that came to the last one, and he said he's representing Pan-African, which means his recipes from Nigeria,
Yeah,
Ghana. He just picked them all,
Yeah.
and he almost won.
wow, he was this
And the
cool.
reason why he almost won, I'll tell you, is because his food is a little different
From
the rest.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
right.
You know, because the Ghanaians are so used to cooking
One
it
way,
this
One
way.
way.
The Nigerians are, and there's a similar taste because of the way it's been
Right,
put together.
prepared.
Right.
Don't
So
do
when
that.
somebody else
I went into
does
the
it
contest.
differently,
For real.
the taste bud
Yeah.
switches and go, wow.
Ooh, right.
So he almost won.
Dang. So I need to taste the jollof rice and the fufu.
Yes. So on that Saturday, like I said, what we have been doing, and soon probably going to get back to it again, is we'll pick a particular country and we'll celebrate that country by way of food, fashion, and music.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
All free. I mean, we've got some beautiful presentations in here. And the idea is we live in a community where the Zambians are there, the Nigerians are here, the Ghanaians are here, and we never take the time to come to any of them and say, hey, tell me more about Ghana, as
Right.
opposed to what I see or hear from the news.
Right.
You know,
right,
that
right.
first experience, we don't do any of those things.
Right.
So this is why we put this together so that we can, self-educate ourselves,
Right.
firsthand. So we celebrated Nigeria. We have the kings and queens.
Yeah.
We have the food from Nigeria. We have performance and music. We've done Ghana, Zambia. We've done, the Zambian was beautiful.
Really?
This guy spent like a week, practicing on, I mean, you think the president is here to see this event. You know what I mean? They practiced and they put up a beautiful show. If you have not been to Zambia before and you watch this guy's put, you would love to want to go in there and share their culture with them. It's beautiful.
Wow.
So we do that. We celebrated Jamaica. We did Haiti. We did African American.
Okay.
The green, red, and black. We did so many. We did the Congo as well too. The performance of the Congo was beautiful. Everybody they're eager to show where they're from.
Culture, yeah.
So we're able to put that together, and it's amazing.
Okay, and you say you guys have dance.
We do a dance class every Wednesday night. We do the capoeira, capoeira, the Brazilian Afro, Afro martial art. We do that every Tuesday. Soon, the gentleman that beat the drums is going to be teaching drum class. Yeah.
I follow you on Facebook,
so you see
I'll know because that's I want to learn.
That'll be on Tuesday, and then on Saturday we're going to be teaching kids how to beat the drums as well too. Yeah. So all of those things they are in the works. We have an Afro jazz idea coming up in the big room right there. It's got 2 event centers. So we got so much. Like you said, New York.
Yes.
No one can be like New York. When I was back in Nigeria, when you're saying you're going to America, you don't even have to say you're going to a particular place in America. You're going to
right. Everyone knows. When you go to America,
you say you're going to Yankee.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So we have to. We can't get to New York.
Right.
Let's make New York.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do.
Again, this is dope. I love it.
Do you think you're gonna outgrow this?
Well, I think outgrowing means success,
right?
Yes. And like I said, we're enjoying it. We're enjoying it now. We enjoy what we have now. This is a far cry from where I was on church.
Yes. By far.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they said every disappointment is a blessing. All right. When the magic came and we were going to have to leave that place, it was a case of wow. Do I have to close down or what's going to happen? But all of a sudden, here this was, So and with this, we were able to, spread out even more, and that is a big thing.
So tell me, when you first got here, you only had this part.
Only had this part here,
and then I noticed you.
And then the idea that it would be great to have a gallery.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, we have no gallery. Right. Even though there's so many great African American artists, where is the gallery? So obviously, let's have a gallery. The gallery, the artwork stays on the wall, and then the room, it's open for rental, and then you can come in and do whatever you want to do. And then from there came the next room, which is even bigger than that room out there. So it's about just enjoying the moment, and then wishing for more. Not running to get some more, but just enjoying what you have now. When that time comes, then you embrace it.
But you know what? I really hope that you do leave here, though.
Thank you.
To expand it, even be bigger than this.
Okay. Do people buy these things though? Are these things, the masks and stuff, are they for sale? Do people buy them?
Everything is for sale. People come in and buy, but what you got to understand also is you're not in a hurry to sell, all right? Even though you would like to. And the reason why I said that is these are priceless gems. Even though we price them, these are not a reproduction. All right, these are original pieces. I used to say one of the difference between the West and say the continent of Africa not being as rich is because we don't reproduce the things. Here you can go now, one particular car, you can have 1 million orders. If I am a carver and I'm carving this, it might take me 2 or 3 weeks to carve it. All right, then you come in and then you buy that, and then it's gone. And then I'll start all over again.
Wait, talk about, you carved these?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to make sure. I'm about to say, okay, now. Okay, you got it all. Like, you got it, you doing all.
I'm just saying the cover.
Right, the cover
I'm just saying
itself.
the cover.
Right,
If
okay.
the cover carves, it carves, and it takes him a while to carve what it carves. All right? If we live in the world of the West, it would be, it carves this, and it makes reproductions of it. So it makes 1 million others of the same piece. But we don't do it like that. We dealt in originality. Carve, and when it's carved, then it's sold. Then the man starts all over again and he makes the stuff. So
and that way it is actually more valuable.
It is very, very valuable. It just doesn't bring us the quicker wealth.
Quick money, right.
But you love what you do.
Love what I do. Love what I do.
All right, so I wanted to show some, I don't know if y'all want to pick masks, 1 or 2, masks, just to show what he has. And I mean, it's like crazy masks everywhere, but there's so many
Masks
different
and such,
styles.
yeah.
Do you mind if we show some?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what
Y'all
we're here
wanna get
for. I
one?
mean, they
Okay.
can show them. I mean, we've got so many different pieces, and then from all different parts of Africa as well too. We got Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, anything.
Oh, so
And look at those pictures. Look at those paintings on the wall too. These are beautiful.
this one right here.
Oh, that one. That one is from the Congo. Yeah.
So do you know that because you know that, or can you tell?
I think most of all of this is, if you think about the mask and the statue,
Beautiful.
all right, most of them are passed down way back in the past. When the kids are growing up, they are being taken to a master cover. The master cover then, it's more like an institution. A master cover is the right-hand man of the king, all right?
Okay.
Whenever any event is taking place and they need something to represent that event, a master cover comes in and it becomes the right-hand person. So they are wealthy. They are being, so obviously when your parents are growing up, they said, look, I would like my son or my daughter to learn how to carve. So they take it to a master cover. When it gets to a master cover, the master cover says, this is how I want it done. So it repeats itself. So when you see it, it's easier to tell where a mask or statue is from,
Right.
as opposed to what it meant.
So where's this one?
This one is from Gabon. Yeah, it's referred to as Puno. Now you can see this diamond crossed in there gives you an idea of the marking that has been put on that mask. And with this one right now, it's got the white face. With the white face, you almost give the celebration of the passing. If you look at the eyes are asleep, like it's asleep. All right. So this is a celebration. So when someone passes, this is one, and it's used to celebrate the passing of the person. Yeah. So this is referred to. It's from the Puno tribe of Gabon. Central Africa.
This is from Gabon as well.
That one is from Ivory Coast.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Well,
this
that's
one is
crazy.
referred to as guro. Guro is it's a fun-loving.
Yeah.
Guro is one of those, like those ones as well too. So those colorful ones.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Those are the same from the same tribe, where it has this. It's one. This one is an elephant, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's from
And
the
that
Ivory
one?
Coast. That one is from the Congo. Yeah, and this one is used as a male initiation. If you look at, there's a book in there that has this in there. And most of the things we have in there, they all actually are in the book. So you can look through them and be able to tell that this is what this is. Yeah.
I have a mask hanging
You
up
said
in
this
my
is
house.
male what?
And it's
Initiation.
Male initiation. A boy, like a boy's to man.
becoming a man.
Becoming
So would they
a man.
put that on? Like put it on? Do they put
It's
it
just a mask that represents
That's what it
ceremony.
represents.
Yeah.
on? Wow.
So when you see it, it almost reminds you of what's happening. You can tell.
So what
what's
this
going on,
means.
yes.
Okay. Nice. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Mr. Tim, for allowing us to come in and get an education on the African culture and more info on your store.
And I think the tagline is even more beautiful.
It stands
and
out.
I think it just came to me in my sleep, and it's sharing Africa from within. It could be from within here, it could be from within the continent, but just sharing Africa from within. So I thought that was dope.
And what you saying that it came, it's like it came to you in your sleep.
Yes.
It just awoke. Like for me, I've been trying, not an artist as far as artist, but I've been venturing out and trying to do things, like my podcast, and I did a book bag drive. Guys, if who's listening now, I have a sickle cell walk September 1st. I know that's like Saturday, but 8:30 in the morning to shed some light on sickle cell. So I'm doing and sickle cell awareness. So I'm doing different things, but what I'm starting to learn is when you feel that in your soul, like you dream about it and it come to your mind, we have to jump on these things